this being your first feature, were you looking to make a film, or did you seek out to tell Tribe's story?
For the last 10 years, I've been wanting to direct something, had the urge to want to go to find something to direct. I knew the only way I would be able to direct something was to be something I was passionate about. And when the idea came to me to do a documentary on Tropical Quest, you know, it was a really organic process. I went to the group, and they said okay, and then we started doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been wanting to direct. I didn't know I was going to want to direct a documentary. I never would have thought I would have directed a documentary before a feature. Documentaries are so challenging. This kind of documentary, and this particular documentary, has been enormously challenging. So, you know, I said along the way, I said if I can get scripted and actor next time, I'll be fucking this. Will be a lot easier. I know, making any movie is hard, but the idea of having a little bit more controlled environment, I think would be fun.
Yeah, because like they've all had relationships since they were, you know, young kids, and you're telling your story.
Right.
You they're very candid with you, and like very open.
Right.
Did you have a relationship prior, or how did you gain their trust? So
Well,
they knew you would tell the story like truthful and right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I gained their trust. You know, we've known each other peripherally. I've known Q-Tip for a few years. Fife, Ali, and Jerobi, I met him out every now and then. Oh, I'm a fan. That's it. I think they gave me their trust because it's just the way it worked out. You know, I think that it's a tribute to them. And I know that they know how passionate I am about the film, how passionate I am about them as a group, and ultimately became, you know, more intimate with them as individually.
Yeah. So, being the director, you're pretty much in control on how you shine a light on all of them.
Right.
What kind of pressures came with telling the story like honest and true?
I mean, there was a lot of pressure to tell the story honestly and truthfully. It sort of became a Rashomon thing because some sort of sticking points. It's like 4 different people telling the same story from different point of views.
Yeah.
And you have to try to figure out a way to incorporate everybody's thoughts, ideas, and version of the truth in a way that makes sense, is entertaining, and is ultimately what I believe in and what I feel like is the truth.
Yeah.
So that was a tough thing, you know, it's a challenging thing and frightening thing to do.
Oh, I bet. I read in the press notes that, or the director's statement, that you were saying that creatively you hit your highs and lows. While making this, can you kind of go into detail with that? Talk about that a little?
The highs came many times. I mean, you know, when you're shooting and you whether it's an interview or more of a verite stuff, are you gonna have sound problems?
Probably.
Really?
I mean, I'll just transcribe it.
Oh, okay,
if
fine.
I have to.
Okay. The highs came from, you know, those moments just revealing themselves, just right there in the moment.
Yeah.
Because there's no planning it, and you're just like shooting and thinking, oh, this is shit, what the fuck, we're wasting this footage, I have to edit this footage, and then something will happen.
Yeah.
The lows came from shit, you know, looking at the footage, realizing I have really good footage, and how am I going to tell the story?
Yeah.
Realizing I have really good footage that I'm not going to be able to use in the story. Music clearances. Hip-hop samples are a motherfucker. I fought for my life on this movie. And I'm continuing to fight for the movie and the movie's life and the movie's life after Sundance. So, I mean, all those things are anxiety-ridden. You know, it's every cliche, independent filmmaking cliche, we've experienced along the way, every one of them.
Nice. All right. So when you know Tribe's fans go to see this, movie fans go to see this. After the credits roll, what do you want them to take from it?
I want the movie to be fun. I want the movie to be an emotional experience. I want it to be informative in some ways. I want it to be a celebration of a Tribe Called Quest. And at the end of the day, I hope a Tribe Called Quest continues to tour. And if all the stars and the planets and the trees and the wind and the altitude and everything lined up, maybe they one day can make another album. Because I know that it would be a great thing.
Yeah. So since this, first feature documentary, did you draw any inspiration from other, filmmakers, any other documentaries?
Many documentaries I watched over and over. The Last Waltz, Gimme Shelter, Trying to Break Your Heart, Jimi Hendrix, the Blondie documentary. A bunch of things obviously on the Beatles have been documented so much. Dave Chappelle's Block Party. I mean, I watched everything. Robert Johnson's story, that was great. I mean, I watched so many music docs and stole from where I wanted to steal from and gain inspiration and reference and visual reference, story reference. I just really engulfed myself in it and tried to find things that would just, help me through. And I was like, fuck, what the fuck am I gonna do? Just watch something, try to okay, that makes sense. And hopefully I could, and I wonder when they making that, were they freaked out and scared? And because I was scared to death a lot of the time making this movie, because I didn't want to fuck it up. I really didn't want to fuck it up. And I knew it was a precious sort of gift to have. For them to let me make the movie about them. I know what Tribe means to people. And I just wanted to try to, live up to the expectations of what my whole thing was I wanted the movie to look as good as Tribe's music. I don't know if I totally achieved that because the standards are so high, but I just wanted it to be in the ballpark of it. I want the fans to be happy and the non-fans to become fans.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it.
Thank you.
You did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
When we walked out, we just saw the press screen.
Oh, you just saw it?
Yeah, we just saw it.
Oh, shit, you just left just now?
Yeah. And
how was it?
Great. Fantastic.
How was the response?
It was great.
Were people laughing and stuff?
Yeah.
They
absolutely.
were?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
And the animation, isn't it something?
Yeah, dude, you did a brilliant job.
I had a great guy, James Blagden did that.
Yeah? Right on.
I'll take responsibility to knowing that I needed somebody that good to help make the movie.
What was great is,
But it went well though?
yeah, yes. I heard people talking. They're like, I didn't because most people know Q-Tip.
Yeah.
And now I know
The guys are so
everyone else now.
And
I know
Fife and Jerobi, they're such good. I mean,
they're interesting people.
Yeah,
Very
and they're so vulnerable. Like Fife is such a such a great character, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
That's the thing I'll say. The thing that made them great musically is the same thing that makes them great documentary subjects. And for exactly the same reason, which worked in the group, Q-Tip is this sort of esoteric.
Yeah.
I'm talking so much, I'm not saying
It's all good.
Funny, complicated, sort of tough, challenging guy, and Fife's music, part of the group was just here I am.
Yeah.
And that's why I always reference them to the Rolling Stones, the Keith and Mick thing, because obviously Q-Tip's the Keith. I mean, obviously Q-Tip is the Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
And as charismatic as he is, you need the guy who's more the regular guy, who cuts through all the bullshit, like Fife.
Yeah.
So, and the documentary subject, that was a fascinating thing for me because what attracts them to them as a musicians was the same thing that attracted me to them while we were shooting.
Yeah.
And their sort of strengths as subjects, were their strengths as musicians, were their strengths as subjects, and their differences.
Yeah.
So
Cool.